Hello, welcome to another episode. We're here to burn the wagon that is patriarchy, capitalism, and above all, colonialism. Hello, thank you.
Hi.
Thank you. I think I'll just give a little intro, but
Okay.
no, you're good. Here we go. My guest today, T.Arrows Designs. We got both of the stickers right there, burn the wagon, and yours. And I got the shirt on. So
Nice.
yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
just do a quick little prayer, and then we'll get on to our conversation.
Okay, cool.
So I want to send prayers out there for anybody that's suffering from domestic violence. I want to send prayers out there for anybody that's suffering from mental health issues. I want to send prayers out there for anybody that's gone missing or has been murdered. I want to put prayers up for yourselves for being here today. And I want to put prayers up for precious Mother Earth. So Yahweh, Yake Apede, thank you, the Creator, for allowing us to be here today on Burn the Wagon, where we're here to burn the wagon that is patriarchy, capitalism, and colonialism. So thank you, T.Arrows Designs, for being here with me today, and we'll get into it. So we'll just give the people a little intro about yourself and who you are, and then we'll get on to the questions that I got.
Okay, cool. So, I'll introduce myself in my native language. Well, my clans. I wish there's like a longer way to introduce myself, but I'm not too familiar with it. So, Yat Aish A Tier Bigayin She Tohana Nishle Tinzakani Bushishin Tochini Deshiche Tachin Deshinele. So what I just said was hello everybody. My 4 clans. So as Navajo people we have 4 clans, and it's from your mother, which is the first one. The second one is from your father, and then the third one is from your maternal grandfather, and the fourth one is from your paternal grandfather. And so my first clan is Tohane, which is near the water clan. And then the second one is Tinsakani, which is a clam tree clan. And then the third one is Bitterwater, which is Torshini. And then Tachini is my last one, which is near Red Running into the Water.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of get mixed up with them sometimes just because like 3 of them are water clans, and then the fourth one is just a clam tree clan.
Okay. And all those clans in the same kind of area of where you grew up?
So with our clans, kind of like, I mean, I'm not too familiar with like the backstory of them, but there's a bunch of clans out there, and I guess it's just a way for us to know our relatives throughout the whole reservation and throughout, because there's so many of us Navajos, and so like it's kind of easier for us to see who we're related to. And my grandpa makes a joke of like, it basically gives you like a like a relative to borrow money from. So yeah, so it's kind of like that. So it helps us determine who we're related to, and just to acknowledge each other as relatives, and we can acknowledge each other as grandmas, grandpas, sisters, cousins, aunts. There's just so many ways.
Wow, that's so.
Yeah.
I've always heard like people introduce themselves with, like you said, the grandfather's clan or whatever, the grandmothers, and then that's like I would get just so confused. But like I guess
Yeah.
if you're doing it all the time, you're that's how you do it and that's how you're raised. It would probably get used to it. But wow, that's
Yeah, the clan system for Navajo people is really complex, and we have like groups. I think there's maybe like 8 groups, if I'm not mistaken. And like all of them correlate with each other, and so it's like group 1 can be related to group 8, and like it's really really complex.
wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so you grew up on the res out there.
So I'm from or I was born in Gallup, New Mexico, which is like 200 plus miles from Albuquerque, which is the main city here in New Mexico. And I was born there, but I grew up in this little area called Pinedale, New Mexico, which is kind of like northeast of Gallup. So it's kind of
Okay.
like a city. It's on the Navajo reservation, and then I grew up there for, I think, for a little while, and then my mom, she moved me here to Albuquerque. She basically wanted a better lifestyle for me, and but I did go back to the reservation to stay like the summer with my grandparents, and they still taught me like who I am as a Navajo woman.
Was it a culture shock going from the reservation to like a city like Albuquerque?
Um, I would have to say so, yes, because um, it just was different. I was used to seeing like elderly people, like staying on the reservation with my grandparents. Their friends are mainly their same age, so they're a bunch of elderly people. And so going into seeing like a different variety of people and ages and skin colors and getting to know like other ethnicities other than my own native people, I think it was really different. And going to school with majority of Native Americans and then switching to a public school with different types of ethnicities, it was different.
Yeah, I grew up in a small town in Mendocino County, and I moved here to Santa Cruz, California, and
Mhm.
Santa Cruz, California is predominantly white, and
Yeah,
it's crazy culture shock. Like it was wild to like get down here and like in Mendocino County, there's no stoplights, so I don't have to do. I never dealt with crosswalks or bike lanes or anything like that, and it was just
yeah,
a crazy culture shock. You know what I mean?
yeah. It was really crazy, and I have to thank my mother for giving me an open mindset to everything. Teaching me at a young age that there's going to be different people out there, and that's not the same skin color as you. That's going to go against you or with you. Just be prepared for everything. So I give a huge thanks to her for that, because I don't think I would understand the way I do now if it weren't for like her and for my grandpa as well too, because you know my grandpa, he was the male dominant in our family. I grew up without a father. My mom's a single mom, so he took over that role of teaching me like father figure stuff and being the protector of the family. So yeah.
That's awesome. And I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? I had a question lined up, but because you said some amazing things right there, so I'm like,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, no, 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 you're good. I'm trying to like formulate a couple questions from what
Uh-huh.
you said. Um, who got you? I'm gonna jump into the next question.
Oh
If I
yeah,
could jump back to that question,
yeah.
who got you into your art? We'll start with your art page, and then later on, I don't know if you want to say, but we are gonna
Okay.
give some stickers away and a
Yeah,
shirt, right?
I
So
guess.
yeah, we'll start with who got you into art, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So when I was younger, I always used to draw my mom like little cards, or like I would just randomly draw because like back then there wasn't like phones or anything or like gaming systems. I mean, they were barely coming out when I was at that age, but we couldn't afford it, so I would just draw, and like I would draw mainly. I realized like I drew mainly stuff around back home. Like I drew my grandparents and I and our trailer on the reservation. I drew like stuff like that, and so I kind of like had it when like started drawing when I was younger, and then as I got older, my interests went to sports mainly. So I played a bunch of sports, and I was a sports fanatic. So I kind of stopped drawing and was focusing on like sports and everything. And then in high school, I took an art class, and I the only way I can like kind of grasp like the art concept was relating it to my culture and who I am as a
Uh-huh.
native. So I would, an assignment would be like draw something abstract. So I would make something like um, indigenous, like do native patterns or native colors, mainly working with like nature colors, stuff like that. So I kind of just, and then I took a break for a while to focus like on college and stuff like that. And I think it just like was a hobby that I let go for a while. It was like on and off. And so then when I met my fiance, I was like, I'm gonna get back into drawing because I haven't done it for a very long time. And then I started practicing and doing like little doodles. And then I was like, what? I told my fiance, I was like, what would be cool is if I like made my art really good and then was able to like print it and or sell stickers of it and share it with the world. Because
Yeah.
like I would want to do that and share like my culture, the positivity out of all of it. And so it kind of the inspiration came from a variety of people, my people, the Navajo people, my family. My biggest inspiration for my art is my grandparents. Um, they're a really big part of it. And then just the encouragement from my fiance and my aunt and my mom, like they're the behind the scenes aspect of it.
That's awesome. Did you
Yeah.
go on to college to play any sports or
No, I didn't. I probably could have, but I didn't pursue that route. I kind of was actually against education for a very long time. I told my mom from like when I was in middle school, I was like, Mom, I'm never going to college. I'm never going to college. College is not for me. I was so against it. And
yeah.
then when I met my fiance, her and her family were big on education. And so I was like, she's like, maybe you should go back to school and, try it out. If you don't like it, then we can, work on something else, pursue on a different lifestyle or pursue onto something that spikes your interest. So I was like, okay. And I kind of just fell into it. So when I first started off at Native American Community College here in Albuquerque, which is Southwestern Indian Polytechnic Institute. Yeah. So I went there and I got my associate's degree last year, actually. Um, and then I didn't know what to do. I was like, do I just work out and go straight into the military? Do I, you know, what do I do? So then
Yeah.
I'm kind of inspired with myself and my perseverance through college. So I was like, you know what? Let me try for my bachelor's. So that's what I'm currently working on. I'm two bachelors for criminology and psychology.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you plan to go back to your reservation and help people back there, or what's the plan with that?
Um. So like, I want to help my people. Could just because. So I want to be a police officer,
Okay.
and I know there's a lot of confliction with that, with being Native American and police enforcement and stuff. But I want to be more of like a positive person. I want to reverse the I guess like the vision or like like the positive vibes, creating a negative thing into a positive thing,
Yeah, yeah,
and switching the face of like police officers. Like there is some bad ones, and unfortunately they're really 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 bad. But I also want to bring the fact that like police officers can be good, and I think putting Native people in the police force is a good thing to bring awareness to like um, color people being good people.
yeah. That's actually because at a certain point I was wanting to interview a person that was a tribal police officer
Mm-hmm.
at some point. And do you would you want to join a police force that is strictly off the reservation, or would you go back to a police force that is on the reservation? And do you know the different laws, or would you have to study different laws to go to be a tribal police officer?
So with the Navajo Nation, I did want to go back and be a Navajo Nation police officer, and I'm kind of still debating on which one to pick because I did want to go into BIA as well, but it's still a toss up in the air just because my fiance, she's a nursing student, and she wants to go back home and work with the healthcare in the hospitals back home. So it's kind of like, okay, well, when we get to that point, we can decide if we're gonna move back home or not.
She want to go work in
So,
the IHS building?
yeah, that's what I told her. Like she was like, yeah. I was like, well, don't be like one of those typical, native glares. So yeah, so like, she really wants to do that, and I want, and like we really support each other's plans and goals, and you know, I'm still, like I said, I'm still in a toss up with that, and with the tribal for the nomination, it's more federal, so you like for the laws and everything, it's just you have to kind of know like the federal laws compared to like state, county, and such. And
Yeah, because I know it can get dicey with some reservations and the police, and
yeah.
I know because that's what we're running into a lot with MMIW.
Hmm.
Some jurisdictions that can't overlap, or it's federal, and then there's the local county jurisdiction, and there's all kind of stuff. So yeah, I kind of wonder always about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, especially with like the nomination. I mean, it's really sad how when there's like a murder case on the Navajo reservation, it's kind of like my family has been a victim of it several times with relatives, but from what I've seen from an outside perspective is they just let the cases go. they run into a dead end on something, and it's like they don't try to jump over, you know, fences to figure out like what happened there from there. You know, they just kind of just like, okay, it's another case, throw it in the pile, we'll get to it when we get to it. Or if something spikes up later down the road, then that's when we'll open it. So I kind of wanted to go into that field of like investigation and, you know, pushing forward to with that. But at the same time, I want to work with juveniles because I feel like our future generations is very important to society, to our culture, to our people, and our tradition. So, you know, maybe they just didn't have a good life growing up. So, you know, maybe they need some guidance, and I would like to be that for them.
And also, like you said, about because people in our communities don't trust police officers, that's why they're afraid to speak up in these
Yeah,
situations. So that's another reason these cases also don't go anywhere because there is information out there. They're just afraid to speak up to, say, a white police officer.
yeah,
If there was maybe someone like you, maybe that might make a difference, or maybe not in a police uniform. Just a lot of things can make a difference to getting that information. I feel like.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's one of my biggest like motives and inspiration to go into the police forces, just because I feel like they would be more comfortable with, you know, a woman that's fully Native American versus like a man that's Native American, because sometimes male dominancy can be intimidating to some
yeah,
people.
and in this police forces, male toxicity like lives and breathes very rampantly. So
Yeah,
that dealing with a toxic masculine person who is also has a badge is it's very it's very scary for some people, you know.
yeah,
But like you said, hopefully if people like you can come into the community and change those
hmm,
change the perspective from the people on the reservation to hopefully give information in MMIW cases, then
yeah,
definitely I encourage that. Yeah, I definitely encourage that.
yeah, and like, and I sometimes get afraid to like put that out there with my business. I keep my business life and my personal life very separate, just because I know a lot of people don't support police force, and so, but I'm wanting to go in to make a positive change. I'm not wanting to go in to, you know, just be your typical police officer to have power. Like, I don't want power. I just want to help people. I genuinely want to create a different um impersonation of police officers into a more positive one.
It's kind of the same thing because at a certain point I was encouraging people, I was asking people, how do you feel about Native Americans getting in politics?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is another thing, the U.S. government kind of is a thing that kind of wiped us out and doesn't want us like a part of these situations. So it's like a weird thing to want to get involved in, but I think
Yeah,
it's kind of important for us to get involved to start making changes in these legislations, in these sort of things, to make differences. Yes, it
yeah,
does suck to have to sit at these tables and rub elbows with these politicians because it's a really dicey game to be a politician. But I do believe at a certain point we do have to get in these spaces to make some certain changes on certain legislations.
yeah. Like with Deb Holland, I really, you know, she's a big inspiration as well, and just seeing all the work that she's doing for Native people and, you know, trying to regain our rights to our land is such a big thing, a powerful move that an indigenous woman can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's. I kind of want to move on to because you mentioned a couple of times about
Yeah.
your native culture and it inspiring your art. And I
Mhm.
kind of want to you obviously spoke your native language in the beginning. So yeah, I kind of want to ask about those type of things. I think that was the next question. Is there any not religious but cultural practices that you practice from your tribe or anything like that besides the language?
So my family, from I'm gonna rate it like on a scale from 1 through 10, 10 being very traditional, you know, going to ceremonies and, you know, being very active in our traditional um, practices. I would rate my experience with my family possibly like a 6. You know, we're not fully traditional just because I kind of break our family apart. For my grandpa, my grandpa's family and him are very traditional. My grandma, she did grow up traditional, but she went to boarding school, so she was conflicted with tradition and religion, traditional or cult, like yeah,
Yeah,
Native
yeah.
American tradition and religion. So it was kind of like a toss up between the two, but I think my grandpa just kind of encouraged us to be um, traditional with our prayers, with our practices and stuff like that. And as well as my mom. My mom, she came out to the city, worked with basically a white male society or group, and so she wanted to feel connected with her people and do prayers, do cedar and burn cedar and sage and stuff like that. So I did practice like my culture, like I do practice my like traditions like in the background. I don't fully put it out there because I'm still learning. And my fiance, she helped me with that because her family's very traditional. So she kind of brings that into our household and just trying to still learn our practices. And as Navajo people, it's we don't really have like dances like some native tribes that practice their dances all the time. We kind of have it like when you need it type of thing.
That's something that I was wondering too is like because yeah, I've never seen any dances from yeah, I'm trying to think of yeah, I've never seen any dances from over there of anything like that from any
Yeah.
powwows, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of any like regalia or anything like that in my mind.
Yeah, we have like our traditional attire and it we mainly wear it for accomplishments like when you graduate high school or when you graduate college or one big traditional practice that we have is for our women, like our young women,
Hmm.
when they reach puberty. We have a becoming of age ceremony that's called a kinolda, and it's a long story with like our changing woman and our creation story. And so when a young female goes through puberty, she goes through that ceremony, and it's kind of brings the whole family together. And it's a 4 day ceremony. We do like a cake, like a corn cake, a cornmeal cake that you cook in the ground. And so,
Whoa.
yeah, it's really nice. And if you're ever in Gallup, New Mexico, there's a big flea market, and they sell that cake there. So you can give it a try if you're ever out there, or it's.
My sister lives in Albuquerque actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe she can send you some, or I can send you some too as well. Because it's really good. It's really delicious, and um, it's a woman ceremony, so the grandmas come and help the the girl that's going through the transition from a young woman or a girl, like a little girl, to a young woman.
that's amazing. That's it's kind of like a quinceañera in Latin culture.
Yeah, basically. But this this 4 day ceremony, the last day you have all night prayer with everybody, and the girl runs 4 times. I think it's 4 times a day, if I'm not mistaken. I can't. It's been a while for me. uh,
Wow.
yeah, so it's a really powerful and beautiful ceremony. I had one. My fiance had hers done twice, and so it's a powerful thing, and it's like for my mom, it was emotional just because you see your daughter go through all this traditional stuff and that at the outcome, she's a woman.
Absolutely, I bet. That
Yeah,
must be an amazing 4 days of that festival.
yeah.
Um, and what age is that does that happen?
Usually, so it's when the girl has her first menstrual cycle.
Oh, okay.
So any age between like 11 and 14, around that time frame.
Oh, okay. Um,
Yeah.
and I've seen you start to pop back up at powwows. I kind of wanted to ask about that too.
Yeah.
When did you start selling at powwows, and how has that been going since like COVID
Mhm.
started? You know, so we haven't been able to go to ceremonies and powwows and stuff like
Yeah.
that. How has that been going back to powwows and selling your stickers and stuff?
So my first powwow that I ever sold at was in Fort Lewis, at Fort Lewis College in Durango, in Colorado, and that was my first powwow. When I first started selling in person, I was like, that would be so cool to sell at a powwow and to like get my stickers out that way, just because a lot of us Native people come together at powwows. So um, it's a transition from COVID, and then it's slowly starting back up with these events. And for me, it's kind of bittersweet just because you see all these elders that possibly beat COVID, but then you also remember like some of them that didn't. So it's a good thing that we as Native people fought through COVID, and it's just a powerful thing as well, and within itself. So
You got because you guys are pretty hit pretty hard with COVID, right?
yeah, on the Navajo Nation, yeah,
Yeah.
it was really bad.
And I was actually, this is a different tribe, but I was reading that the I think it was the Irish that helped the Choctaw Nation recently, and I was just reading stories like that. Do you know of any other places that helped you guys like that, or
Um, I know like there was I think another country that I think helped us. I think it was like somewhere in Europe or something. They sent PPEs to us. And like I think the major spotlight of people helping us was people in our own communities.
yeah,
Like Native YouTubers. For an example, there's this woman. She's a Navajo YouTuber. Um, Sierra Johnson, and she went out and distributed portable hand wash, like sinks,
yeah, yeah.
because the majority of the Navajo Nation has no running water, has no electricity, and so one of the big things that we were trying to do is, or that she was trying to do, and Navajo people were trying to do is you know wash your hands, you know,
Because that was
that's
the biggest thing of COVID is washing your hands and keeping your
yeah.
hands clean.
Yeah, so she, people like YouTubers like that, they went out and, asked for donations to purchase stuff like that, to go home on the reservation and distribute them. And I feel like that was really an amazing thing for the Navajo Nation and the Navajo community to do, is help one another. We're always bickering at one another and trying to, go against one another. And it was really nice to see that the Navajo Nation came together as one. We didn't do any backlashes or anything, or it wasn't like a negative thing. It was a very positive outcome.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Especially to be back in powwows and seeing these elders and like being able to help them and gift them whatever you are able to gift them with. So I
Yeah.
recently have somebody that she said she's happy to go back because she's able to she makes earrings and she's
Mm-hmm.
able to give certain elders earrings and that makes her feel good. So it's like must feel good just to get out there and see people that you haven't seen for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah. I like this last powwow. It really brought a lot of positive vibes to me, and it really made me feel happy and proud of what I'm doing, because a lot of people came up and complimented my art. And um, for an example, I'll show you really quick. This sticker was my first design. Uh, this right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this was my first design, and it's actually of my grandma. We saw that a lot of people were were losing their grandma to COVID. A lot of them, like, they were losing them. So my grandma wanted to find a way to give her love to them, because she's a grandma as well, and so she wanted to spread her love to people that lost their grandma, and bring them comfort, happiness, and prayers. So that's what we did, and that's the whole reason why she's holding a heart, because she's giving the grandma's love.
And grandmas are huge in our communities. You know,
Yeah.
we always hear these jokes about staying at Graham's house. Got to go to Graham's house. You know,
Yeah.
But grandmas are huge in our communities, and that's
Hmm.
very important. That's awesome that your first sticker design was of your grandma. That's amazing.
Yeah. So when I like tell people that story, they just feel so connected with it just because they either lost their grandma or they know somebody that lost their grandma. And hearing people's stories is probably one of my favorite things to do at pop-ups is, seeing that they can relate to my art and my designs and kind of relate to my stories and meanings behind those and art pieces. And it's just really amazing. I really love meeting new people and listening to their stories. And, if there's something I don't know about my culture and then somebody teaches me something, I really like that. It's,
Absolutely, and that's another reason why I kind of started this podcast too, is because we have amazing stories. There's
yeah.
so many different amazing people in our communities. There's
Hmm.
just too many to not get our stories out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really a big deal when we share stories and prayers and songs, and especially to the younger generation. I mean, I'm still learning, and I'm 25 years old, and um, I'm more traditional out of my siblings, and I want to, when they have kids, my nieces and nephews, I want to teach them that just because my grandparents might not be here in the future, and so I just want to be a sponge to everything and absorb as much as I can.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
And we kind of talk about people not having water out there on the reservation, and so I kind of want to transition into my next topic, and that's land back and decolonize. What does that mean to you? Because, like you said, in certain Navajo reservations, people don't have running water, and in
Yeah.
certain like cities like Albuquerque or other other cities, they do,
Hmm.
and that's just to put it in a perspective. People are living on certain tribes' lands and not having access to water, and these people living on reservations don't. So I just kind of want to see what decolonize and land back means to you, so we can get some of these people on these reservations some water and stuff like that.
Hmm. So I made a couple of notes just because I had like a lot of opinions and thoughts and meaning of what decolonization and land back means to me. So I'm kind of gonna go over them. For decolonizing, for me, I feel like the biggest aspect of it is reconnecting with our roots, reconnecting with you know the first traditional practices that we had, reconnecting with our traditional food, songs, prayers, learning what certain herbal medicines do for us, get rid of that aspirin and turn into, all that herbal medicine. Um, so I kind of, that's what my biggest thing of decolonizing is, decolonizing ourselves first, ourselves as individuals, and then teaching that to the community, teaching that to other Native people. This is how I helped myself reconnect with our land, with our people, and educate them. And, because for me, an example, I'm still learning, and there's a lot I don't know, but there's somebody out there that knows way more than me, and I would love to learn from them. And I think that's a good way of decolonizing ways of life, and it's just by educating, reconnecting.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. And like you said before, you want to be a sponge to all this.
Yeah.
We want to soak up as much as we can because, like you said, our elders aren't going to be here in the future, and we have to be. Eventually, we're going to be the elders that have to pass these things down,
Yeah.
and we don't want to pass it down wrong. We want to pass it down in the ways that it was passed down seven generations ahead of us.
Yeah.
We want to pass it down that same way. So land back, what does that mean? What that one mean to you?
Um, so I kind of went over that one a little bit, like touched what it means to me a little bit with like water and electricity. Um, I think one important aspect is fighting back and fighting against industries and policies that want to be placed on Native American land, Indigenous people land, such as pipeline, like pipeline and placement, um where these big companies come and put their factories on our land to, wanting to do fracking and just kind of putting our natural habitat in our water and our natural land of like trees, herbal medicine, water, anything like that at risk of going instinct.
Extinct.
Extinct. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I think that's a really important aspect of regaining our land back, and um, especially with water. Water is such a sacred thing to the Navajo people and to Indigenous people as well, and we're gonna do everything we can to protect that because, like they say, water is life.
We all need water. We all need water to survive. We all need to drink our water. So if you
Yeah,
guys chill in there, please drink some water.
yeah. Hydrate.
Yeah, definitely hydrate because I got my hydration here with
I
those
know.
sure.
I have mine as well.
So thank you to my cousin Len who actually turned me on to you and got me your sticker and your shirt first. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely really appreciate that.
she's been a really, really good support. My aunt, her name's Lorena, and she went to school with Lex.
Oh, okay.
And so Lex and my aunt's friends have known me since I was younger, and that's kind of how I connected with NorCal Indigenous people. And your guys' support is tremendous. Like it blows my mind away because I never thought I would have support from Indigenous people in Northern California. And
It's crazy, huh? It's
yeah,
amazing. It's amazing. Like you said, when we were growing up, we were like right before internet, but we still grew up. We still grew up without it.
yeah,
We kind of know, but like it's amazing with this Instagram things because we're able to connect from California to Albuquerque. These two
yeah,
different tribes are able to connect, and that's another amazing thing about this podcast. I want to continue doing is connecting all kind of different people.
hmm
And making these connections is amazing because I
yeah,
just learned a lot of really amazing things from the Navajo tribe that I didn't know.
yeah. And there's so much to learn with the Navajo Nation. People, some Indigenous people or other tribes see us as just this big Navajo tribe that wants to argue if it's Navajo taco or Indian taco. But there's so much to our people, to our culture, and it's amazing. I really love being a Navajo woman. Just I have those moments where I'm driving randomly down the interstate. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so proud to be Native American. I'm so proud, that the creator picked me to be an Indigenous person because I love it. I really love it.
Absolutely, and let's get into the part that I'm really excited about.
Okay.
This last part where you wanted to give away some stickers and a T-shirt to
Yes.
anybody that's in the live right now. So yeah, how do you want to do that? And anybody
Um.
that's in here on the live, show some love to some free stuff.
Yeah. So I want to go over them really quick. So I have two sticker packs. And they consist of 1 second of these stickers. So I'm just gonna go over them really quick. I have this one that's indigenized medicine,
That's awesome.
and then the every day is a good day to be indigenous.
You got that
And
one?
yeah, I love that one. That one goes so quick at Powwows. It's probably one of my number one sellers. And then the fuck boarding school sticker. And this one is I have two newer stickers. And this one's the water's life.
Oh,
It's
that one's sick. I like that
yeah,
one.
it's a little backwards for the camera, but and then the indigenous women make it happen.
Oh, okay. Damn
And
heart / like started flying.
I know. And then United States of America, which is crossed out and put stolen land.
Awesome.
And then of course my original one with the grandma's love.
Grandma love.
Yeah, so that's the sticker pack. And then for my unreleased shirt, it's actually the indigenous woman make it happen.
Awesome. That one's dope. I love that shirt. That's sick.
Yeah. So this one's not released yet. I'm releasing it at the powwow that I will be vending at here in Albuquerque this Sunday. It's a UNM Nijoni Day powwow. So if anybody is here local in Albuquerque, come check it out. I believe there's going to be like 40 plus vendors. And yeah, so I'll be releasing this shirt there.
I'm gonna send my sister the info.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And I can share the flyer with you as well.
That
So,
goes that goes crazy. So people are loving that shirt already.
yeah, so many people were asking, is it in a shirt yet? And I wasn't gonna make it into a shirt just because I felt like it was a more powerful sticker. But then I was like, I have to. I love this design. It's one of my new favorite ones.
Awesome, I love it too. So how do you wanna
Um,
just pick a random person? Could you can see on your end like who's in here, right?
yeah.
I see two like people going crazy on the likes right now.
Okay,
I,
let's see.
I can see Linda and Julia going crazy on the likes.
I know. So how I usually do it is like I just kind of ask trivia questions, and the first one to guess like the right answer.
Go for it.
Yeah.
That's a random trivia question.
Okay, so I actually have it. I'll have one right here. What percentage of families on the Navajo reservation don't have running water? So that's the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
If anybody want to throw out an answer, go ahead.
Yeah. I'll repeat the question.
Just happy to be here.
What percentage of families don't have running water on the Navajo reservation?
We got 170%, 89%. Linda, you wanna comment? Let's
I
get
was
one
just
more.
people's like answers. I'm just like,
Let's get one more. I'm gonna say 80%. We got 80%, 89%, and 80%.
so far you guys are a little too high.
And 80, we got 80%. Another 80.
Less than 50%.
Oh, whoa. What?
Yeah.
95%. Whoa. Okay, less than 50% have. Wow, that's crazy. So we gotta go. We gotta go down. We gotta go down.
Yeah, go down.
Way down.
It used to actually be higher, but with everything kind of booming up, it decreased.
46%.
Oh, I see someone else super close. Super close.
So we got 60%, 46%, 35%. That's how much people have water. Not even. That's crazy.
Someone is super close. I'm like, oh, I want to say the answer.
Okay, who's the closest person right now?
The first person to say 35, which is I can't scroll.
35.
I think it is.
That's Linda, Native Beauty 707, 35.
No, not her. It was Rose. The last part.
Oh,
Rose.
Darian Rose?
Yeah, Darian Rose.
Okay. Darian just got us some stickers, 32%. You just said again. Okay, yeah. We got Darian Rose, you got some stickers. Native Beauty said that was me. I'm pretty sure that was because it went 90%, 60%, 46%, 35%. I'm pretty sure that was
Native Beauty.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I can't scroll through the comments on my end.
Okay, yeah, I'm scrolling right now. I'll throw some stickers to somebody too eventually, because I got some stickers too. I can throw some stickers to you too, Darian.
Yeah, I'll send it to both of them. It's actually 30% though. So 30% of families don't have running water on the Navajo reservation.
Wow, that's crazy. That's so many people that don't have water.
And majority of those people are actually elderly. And 1 in 3 of each homes either don't have running water or don't have electricity or they don't have both.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's so the Navajo Nation is 27,000 square miles, and there's over 320,000 members, tribal members.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, so putting the math together, 1 of 3, each home either don't have running water or don't have electricity or don't have both. So
that's crazy. That's, oh my God.
yeah, it's tough. And my aunts, my grandparents didn't have running water. When my aunts and my mom were growing up. So
That's insane to think about. 30% of people don't have water. Wow. So
yeah,
everyone out there, please. I don't know. I want to be able to like. Is there any place that we can donate something or share anything?
yeah. So yeah, there's a
If you want to send me something, I'll
organization.
go ahead
Let's
and
see.
share it on my on my. But yeah, let's get to the shirt because we only have 15 minutes left. Sorry, I know this is a crazy topic,
Okay.
but
No,
I don't want to
I'll
get cut
send
off.
you the information though, but there's a link and everything.
Yeah, I definitely want to
So
share that info.
okay, so the shirt. Let me see. Do you have a question that you want to ask or anything?
No,
I don't mind because I don't really. No.
I don't know. I honestly my phone's dying. How good to go. Stay safe. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you so much. If you want to just pick a random person.
Random person. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with Don Julia. I
Okay.
see you're really active on the likes as
Yeah,
well.
she's super active. Our others should be there first to have water. Yes, that's very true. That's an amazing comment. Thank you for that. So
Yeah.
Julia, you got a shirt. Linda, you got some stickers, and Darren, you got some stickers too, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining the live and the little sticker giveaway, shirt giveaway. Thank you guys so much. And thank you very much for being here. I super appreciate this conversation.
Yeah.
This is really, and I really appreciate you opening up about what you want to be too, because eventually this is a conversation I did want to have with somebody that wanted to be in the police force as a Native American person. So thank you.
Yeah. I look forward to that if you have the interview with them. And thank you so much for reaching out and wanting to do this interview. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so just message me your guys' shipping stuff so I can send it to you guys and everything, and I'll send you some too as well, Juan.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much.
All
Hey,
right.
Julia, she invited me here. Awesome. Thank you guys.
All right, cool.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for joining the live. I really appreciate it. Joining Burn the Wagon. We're here to burn the wagon. That is patriarchy, capitalism, and colonialism. So thank you guys so much for joining the live. Go follow T.Arrows Designs, and I really appreciate all you guys' support. Follow me, subscribe to the YouTube, and share this on Instagram, please. And thank you. Peace and love, guys.